Imagine two men building a business. The first man has a high carb diet. He eats foods such as bread, rice, and pasta on a daily basis with a little meat like beef and pork and chicken. He occasionally indulges in junk food like cookies and cake when his family brings them over on special occasions. But the second man has the opposite kind of diet. But the second man is practically on a carnivore diet. He eats foods like chicken, beef, eggs, cheese, butter, and other animal products. And on very rare and special occasions, he'll eat stuff like cakes and pastries when he's taking his family out for dinner. So let me ask you a simple question. Knowing what both the men are eating, who do you think will produce the higher quality and higher quantity amount of work? Before we get into the video, I want to say a little bit about myself first. My name's Kalen, and I make these videos to document my journey to success and in the hope that you, the viewer, learn something from them. Obviously, though, I want to benefit from this too. So, in return for the advice, I want you to scroll down right now and click on the subscribe button that should be next to my channel name. It helps my videos spread further and it grows my audience, which will help more people because more people will see my videos. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. Throughout most of my life, I had a very high carb diet. Foods like pasta have been a staple throughout most of my childhood. And to be fair, pasta is still a good part of my diet now, but way less so. Because you see, not only does pasta taste good, but it's also very affordable. And because my family isn't the most wealthy, obviously, we're looking for bargains, and pasta is a very good bargain for the amount that you get per pound that you pay. So obviously, our family is going to be buying that. But you see, it got to a point where I was having like two big ass bowl of pasta per day, like one for lunch and one for dinner, and they were very big bowls of pasta, like probably about this wide and this big, not a small amount. So you can imagine that affected my productivity a lot. You see, most days would go by without me having even written a single email. Because at that point, for context, I was a copywriter. So my main job was literally to research audiences and write an email on the product that we are selling to the audience. I didn't have clients, but my job at that point was to draft emails and outreach. And most days I wouldn't even get like 3 outreaches done or a single email. And it was all because of my diet. After I started YouTube, I started to cut out the pasta and the carbs as well, as much as I could at least. And after I did that, my productivity skyrocketed. As you can see, I've been posting relatively consistently. Most days I'll get at least a full script written, if not like at least a video. My productivity has gone sky high ever since cutting out the carbs, or at least most of the carbs, because I still do eat carbs, just less now. Now I know that most YouTubers in this space have made videos on carbs already. Like you'll see people like Hamza, probably people like who First Man as well, and I don't know if Ema would have done one, but most YouTubers in this space have probably done a video on diet and carbs already. I know that, but I think that diet is a very important part of productivity, and because it's also something that I think about a lot every single day. So I thought I should talk about it on the channel as well. Now, I don't understand the science behind it. I am not a scientist and I don't claim to be one, but I'm going to tell you the facts as I see them. When I have a reduced carb intake or I'm fasted, I can feel how sharp my brain is. My focus would be incredible. I can just stay on one task and I'll get almost zero thoughts about other things in my head. And if I do, I can very easily just bring it back to the task at hand. My conversational skills are also amazing. I can focus very intently on what someone's saying, and it's like I can just flow in the conversation, articulate good responses. It's like it's a whole different game. And I can also produce amazing quality work. Like the scripts I write when I'm fasted or on a reduced carb intake are just on a different level compared to the scripts that I write when I've just eaten like a crazy amount of carbs. Like say I've just had like 2 sandwiches or like a bowl of pasta or something like that. I still do eat pasta, by the way, just like I said, less now. But I can feel the difference, and it's crazy how it affects you. When I've just eaten a lot of carbs, I get major brain fog after like 5 to 10 minutes of consumption. My conversational skills just plummet, and I can barely do any quality work. Like I mentioned before, the scripts that I write when I've just eaten carbs, they are dreadful compared to the scripts that I write when I'm fasted or on a reduced carb intake. It's absolutely not a coincidence. Like the effects are very real. I can see why YouTubers have made loads of videos on this because it's not just something that you get for, well, it's not just something that you make for clicks and views and all that. Like teaching people about this actually benefits their lives in a very real way. And from what I've seen, as you can probably guess as well, heavy and refined carbs like pasta and rice and bread have the most amount of impact. Pasta above all else, from what I've seen. Like I can have a sandwich and like half an hour later I'll be writing a script fine. I'll be able to focus great. But the pasta and the rice, they're on just another plane. Now, I'm not telling you to go on a strict no carb diet like people like Hamza will. I understand that not everyone has the luxury to do that. What I am saying is if you can cut out the if you can cut the amount of carbs that you actually eat, then it will benefit you a ton. Yeah, the best case scenario is that you do cut out all carbs, but yeah, I haven't and I don't have the luxury to do that right now. If you're in a similar situation, like I said before, that's understandable. And like I said, if you just reduce the amount of carbs, then I'll count that as a win. Now, I know this is a quick video, but like I said, diet is very important for your productivity. It's a major player in the work you do and how much work you get done, the quality of the work, etc. It's very important that you know the effects of what you're eating on your brain and your body. So I just thought I needed to, talk about this. I know the work is hard and the progress is slow, but remember, you only lose when you give up.